The game is business, but how to play it? Agile organisations need adaptable, high-level thinkers to cope with increasing complexity. Change is now a constant factor in our lives. Increasing consumer sophistication, global competition, technological advances, and the people we employ also have changing expectations of their relationship with their work. We used to think it was enough to train people to be logical thinkers, to learn how to analyse problems and produce the perfect solution. But with increasing complexity, this approach doesn't help us to cope with the uncertainty and ambiguities of business life today. So we need our managers to make a critical shift upwards in thinking capability, to make the transition from dealing with predictable operational problems in their departments, to looking across the organisation, understanding the complex interplay between different business functions, to understanding how changes in the external world will impact on business models and strategic plans. So how can we best prepare managers for this huge step in their development? Conventional learning approaches cannot create this vertical mental shift. Passive classroom learning can't create real-life experiential learning. A behavioural coach or mentor, however talented, cannot do your thinking for you. Learning on the job by way of baptism of fire doesn't give you the time and space to experiment, to think differently. And then there are the risks and stresses of bad decisions which may not be easily redeemed. What have other virtual learning providers created? There is a trend towards taking standard, data-driven business simulations where you learn about black and white problems with predictable formulaic solutions and adding elements of entertainment often described as gamification and some lovely graphics. But you know that's not how real life works. This is a great step forward, but only scratches the surface of the true opportunities game technology can offer education. So what is the alternative? Virtual learning has already arrived. Chances are you've already experienced it, maybe even in the form of video games. It's high impact, immersive and fun. But here, at Strategic Nudge, we're already breaking the mould. At Strategic Nudge, we create real-life learning experiences. We've created a virtual business environment. From the moment the player walks in the front door, they can experience the sights and sounds of a real business they can interact with. Let's go in and see what's going on.
No dear, that's wrong.
Thanks for coming in ahead of the executive meeting. Well, I'm not sure where to start. There was an emergency board meeting last night. The projected annual results looked like producing our first ever loss, and the board decided that, well, a fresh approach is needed to get us back on track. They've decided that the person to lead us into the future should be you, not me. You'll be leading the company as from today. No one on the executive team knows anything about this yet, so we'll go in together and I'll make the announcement. The board is giving you a month to come up with a workable action plan. After that, they might consider bringing in external consultants to sort things out, and who knows where that might lead. Right, we'd better go next door and break the news before the gossip network finds out what's going on. Time for some strong coffee all round. Actually, can you go ahead of me? Just need to make a couple of urgent calls. See you in there shortly.
Business is about people, and that makes life complex. The human dramas, resistance to change, the unpredictable reactions to your logical business decisions. It's comparatively easy to design new business practices, but far tougher to get people to adopt them. Our games really test your judgment about people, why and how they behave, and how rational business decisions can't always guarantee the best outcomes. With our games, you learn about trading off short-term versus long-term priorities, about how to work organisational politics, and how the impact of one decision in one area can have a ripple effect elsewhere, and that's not always what you predict it will be. We create a wide cast of characters, all with their own backstories and interrelationships. Many characters will seem so familiar to you, you'll swear we borrowed them from your own experience. In this game, the right or wrong business decisions could have a far-reaching impact on the people as well as on the bottom line. The best business decisions are based on excellent problem analysis. But as in real life, the game doesn't tell you what the problems really are. The player has to dig deep and use their judgment to work it all out. They have to interpret others' responses and behaviours, grasp the subtleties and shades of grey, make changes and judge their impact. The player is the hero, leading the show, taking accountability for what happens. Now what's about to happen in this meeting room?
David's 10 minutes late. He's never late. Something must be wrong.
Look, we all know what this is going to be about. Why don't we just start trying to figure out some solutions? Will, you know as well as I do that you have to sort out the quality problem. We can't afford to lose any more customers. Your production team is really letting the side down. Maureen, surely you agree with me on that. Your people must be up to their eyes in customer complaints.
Now hold on. Your salespeople are just making things worse, promising customers things we can't possibly deliver at the moment. I need more staff and better equipment. If David would just give me...
Well, Alex, take a seat. Morning, everyone. Listen, before we all get stuck in, well, there's something you need to know. There was an emergency board meeting last night, and I got called in. The thing is, well, you know how things are going. I told them we'll get through this somehow, but, well...
Oh, they shutting us down?
No, at least not yet. Look, you know there've been rumours, maybe outsourcing production abroad.
But that doesn't make sense. Our whole reputation has been built on making British products. There are customers in other countries who buy our stuff precisely because it is British made.
Will, the fact is we're about to make the first loss in our history. You have to face reality.
We need to fight back. For everyone's sake. David, we're right behind you.
Thanks, Maureen, but, well, it won't be me you'll be backing. They've asked me to step down. They said they need fresh thinking in the company, so Alex here will be taking over. You'll be given a month to come up with a feasible action plan.
Oh.
After all you've done for them.
No offence, Alex, but you know nothing about the company yet. Surely one of us should be in charge of sorting out this mess.
Listen, the alternative is they'll bring in a team of consultants.
We don't need that. What's that going to do for morale? Having a load of bean counters breathing down our necks, talking theories and charts and...
Will, there has to be some drastic action, or there won't be a company to save.
All right, let's stay calm. I'm staying on for a couple of weeks to have a proper handover to Alex. Look, we all want to save this company, don't we? Alex, there's a lot for you to learn, but we're all going to support you. Let's make a start right now. Richard, can you begin by bringing Alex up to speed with the figures?
So that was the beginning of a particular story. But how does the player get involved in the game and actually learn? The player is given learning quests, tasks to complete on which they'll receive feedback. The tasks are supplemented by in-game mentors who pose mind-opening questions to challenge the player's thinking patterns, to stretch their thinking capability upwards, and who also provide teaching input on topics such as change leadership, socio-emotional development, and so on, creating a rich and deep learning experience. Our virtual intelligent business environment is built using highly sophisticated and complex decision trees. These allow players to participate in the story action and interaction with characters in a way that creates a highly authentic experience. They choose from a range of options for responses and actions and it's not obvious which is the best option to take, so they really need to use their judgment about the impact of their decisions. Our games can be adapted to represent the level of complexity of problems your people need to cope with. We can keep the scope simple. For example, how to define and create new operational processes and systems in a department to boost productivity, reduce costs, and improve morale. Or we can create scenarios of strategic complexity. "80% of transformational change programs fail because the change leaders are not yet able to cope with the challenge of high-level complexity. So, our games can show you how to lead transformational change throughout a complex organisation, cope with changing mindsets, responding to market challenges with new business models, and coping with ambiguity and uncertainty. These learning simulations are ideal for developing operational managers looking to step up into strategic level roles. How do we know this approach works? Research shows our brains don't differentiate between reality and simulation. So how we think, solve problems, and make decisions in these games rewires our thinking patterns for dealing with real-life situations. What would your organisation gain from our approach? In short, peace of mind. Our solution creates sustainable learning. It includes specialised developmental coaching support to ensure virtual learning translates into work performance and personal development. You will watch your managers grow and thrive in capability, confidence, and engagement. You will enjoy a high return on your training investment. The learning retained from virtual experiences is far higher than from passive training approaches. Virtual learning scenarios can be adapted to your organisation's specific requirements. Ultimately, this reduces risks of expensive learning mistakes. So who is Strategic Nudge? Thought you'd never ask. Our growing team unites business psychologists and developmental coaches, all with extensive experience in the corporate and SME world, with brilliant designers, games developers, and researchers who love to create compelling learning experiences. Our client reach is global and covers diverse business sectors. Plus, most of us have been business managers too, so we really understand what life looks like from your perspective. We mean business. Let's play the game.
Oh, Alex. Well, there you are. Is David with you?
Hello, Alex. Nice to see you again. Welcome to the club.
Or the madhouse.